where I will be looking back. Now I've had 5 years in a row where I put up favorite books of, whatever year, the year that I put that up was. And I thought it would be cool to look back on the books. I'm really bad at whittling down lists. So I thought I would do different genre categories and such for a few videos. I think I'll have maybe 5 of these videos in total. And I did eliminate some books, but these are just going to be a bit lengthier. But I think my videos are just fairly lengthy and people seem to be okay with that. What am I going to do? But the first category, I'm going to have my notebook right here handy. The first category is mysteries. So if you are a mystery lover or if you're wanting to branch out, welcome to this video. And the one thing I found challenging, particularly with the books that I've started that are series, is I just look at them eventually as a whole. Like this overall is this series. It's hard for me to pinpoint specific books within each series. And you'll see what I mean as I go through this list. So first is Crocodile in the Sandbank, and this was the first Amelia Peabody mystery. And what I loved about this was how it had the Victorian setting, but the Victorian setting and time, but the very unusual location of Egypt, because I really don't read a lot of books set in Egypt. And I love that aspect of it. And I love in a mystery series, if there's an amateur sleuth, for them to have some kind of interesting and unique occupation. I love that about it. So I really loved getting to see kind of the ins and outs of being an archaeologist at this time. And now it's interesting because a lot of the practices that they had would have been controversial, just like taking sacred artifacts and bringing them back to your home country. But it's a delightful series. I haven't picked up with it in a while. I kind of burned out on it because they did start to feel kind of samey, and I like books to feel different. That's why I love in the Amory Ames series how they travel around so much. But I did really like it, and I definitely want to continue at some point. Then I have Murder at the Brightwell by Ashley Weaver. So speaking of a series that is not samey, although in some aspects it is. But anyhow, I love in this, it's about Amory Ames and her husband Milo. And they are just at these different schmoozy house parties in each book. And it's very different kinds of dynamics happening in each one as far as the plot goes. I think readers do have kind of a gripe with the series that Amory and Milo, it seems like they fix the problems in their relationship in each book, and then the new book begins and they have a bunch of problems again. That does feel a bit repetitive, but I do love the, country house party vibe of this series. I enjoy that a lot about it. And I am 3 books behind on the series now, so I need to get on it and pick those up. I should have gotten some I should read some in the summer. They seem like great summertime cozy mysteries. And then the Her Royal Spinosa series by Rhys Bowen. This has gone a bit up and down for me, but overall I do love this series, and the relationship between Georgie and Darcy is like the romantic lead in it, is wonderful. And I love, if you like P.G. Wodehouse, this is like a cozy mystery series for P.G. Wodehouse fans. The writing isn't going to be kind of crisp and pristine as P.G. Wodehouse's is, but I think it's pretty good, solid, cozy mystery writing. And then A Fatal Winter by G.M. Malliet. So this is one in a series that very much stuck out to me. This is from the Max Tudor mystery series, where he is a former MI5 agent. And he is at this house party. He gets stuck. They get snowed in. So it's a Christmas one. And I love the Christmas aspect of it. And the dynamics of the family, I mean, it was very much like the Christmas Hercule Poirot, where it's, this old, just like stingy skinflint patriarch. And it just was very dynamic, and I really enjoyed reading that one, and especially around Christmas time. I love having a Christmas-themed mystery. And then Death and Holy Orders by P.D. James. I was just over the moon about this book after I read it. I talked about it on my channel, and it's still one of the few mysteries I gave 5 stars. I just thought the plot was amazing. I was so riveted and just so invested in knowing what was going to happen next. And then Daughter of Time by Josephine Tay, another one I talked up a lot. I love that, Alan Grant investigated the entire mystery from his hospital bed. It was fascinating. And just to see his mind work, and I love that about it. And then Sydney Chambers, the Sydney Chambers Grantchester series by James Runcie, an excellent series that I love. The format that it has is very different from a lot of mysteries in that it's several little, basically novellas put together, 3 or 4 or 5 novellas, and I love that. But it still has this overarching plot, and I love going in depth with Sydney's character, and it is miles better than the ridiculous TV series that adds so much soap opera drama that detracts from the really interesting cases and the great characters that aren't as great in the TV series. Then Thorny Hold by Mary Stewart. I really want to go back to this one, and maybe at Halloween it would be fun because it does involve someone being accused of being a witch, but it's also this very like safe, quaint world, so you know nothing really bad is going to happen. And it's not a huge part of the plot. And then Strong Poison by Dorothy L. Sayers. Oh, this one was so good, and it made me excited about that series. Now, I am unfortunately very up and down with that series. I just get really bored with Dorothy Sayers' info dumping that she does. It really gets on my nerves. 5 Red Herrings was really heavy on that. But I do very much want to read Gaudy Night, which is just this, like, it's just supposed to be amazing. The relationship between Harriet Vane and Lord Peter Wimsey. But the obstacle that I have is I haven't read all the books in between Strong Poison and that, and I feel conflicted about whether I should read those. Then the Agatha Raisin books. I talk about these books a lot, so this will not come as a surprise to be my favorite mysteries. And just, it's so easy on the brain, and I love that about it. And some people would say that was, you know, a criticism, but I'd say then it means it's what is the endearing? It's a very endearing series, even though Agatha herself is not endearing. But it just feels so relaxing to be like, this is what they ate for dinner, and you know, this is the shop she went to get a new outfit, and this is the salon she went to get her hair done. And I don't know why, but I find that so comforting because that's just, it's little tidbits that kind of move the plot along. It's not the bigger story, but I love that element of it. And then the Magpie Murders by Anthony Horowitz, a mystery for mystery lovers. If you just want something that is just this big love letter to the mystery genre, and it is 2 mysteries for the price of one, where it is about a mystery author and his disappearance. You're finding out about that all while then getting to read one of the mysteries that he wrote, and it's done so well. I tried picking up the next one in the series, and unfortunately just could not get into it. Had a false start. I'll try again sometime in the future. And then the Mitford Murders by Jessica Fellows. I loved this. It is a really great historical mystery and very pacey, clever, fascinating characters, and I did not guess who the killer was, which is not a requirement for me to love a mystery. It's just a bonus when it does happen. And so, lastly, I almost forgot to talk about 3. My list is all out of order. So, A Great Deliverance by Elizabeth George. The Inspector Lynley mystery series is tops for me, and it's just, the depths that you get to with these characters is astounding, and I love that about it. Then Brat Farrar by Josephine Tay. This is a standalone, and Mary Stewart wrote her version of it called The Ivy Tree, but I very much prefer Brat Farrar because I loved how short and like it packed a punch. It's just the kind of, Josephine Tay is really my style of Golden Age mystery. I enjoy Agatha Christie, but I think I like Josephine Tay more. I just wish she had written more books. But Brat Farrar is about this one twin who disappeared for years and years. And he would be the one to get the inheritance, and then shows up like a decade later, and they all have to figure out if he is who he says he is. And lastly, The Murder of Roger Ackroyd. I think this might be my favorite Poirot book to date. I think it might be knocked off the top, I'm guessing, by Death on the Nile. I actually don't really like Murder on the Orient Express. It does she's doing exactly what she makes the feeling exactly what it's supposed to be. It feels very claustrophobic, and I just was nervous the whole time, and it was too much. And I also got kind of bored by the fact that the entire thing takes place on the train. I got restless. So The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, I really liked. I think it might be my favorite Poirot so far. It will be interesting to look back and kind of rank them, but I do have trouble with series kind of ranking them overall. So I love that. And those are the mysteries that have, held up over the years. And I hope you enjoyed hearing about them and are enjoying, will enjoy the rest of the series where I look back on the favorites that I had over the years and see if they're still favorites. And I will be back with another video soon. Bye.